Alright, so we're going to be doing the construction from the PDF that I gave you from last week, right, on orthographic projection. And you can pause the video at the beginning to look at the method, or you can go back to the PDF, right? It's the first worked example. So here you can see me dividing the page into 4 parts, right? And the reason why it has to be divided into 4 parts is because the three views, right? The front elevation, end elevation, and planned elevation, they have to be on specific positions on the page, right? Remember, in the method for this construction, we're going to be doing this construction in third angle projection. Now, if you look at the example, right, which already has the answer, by the way, it's going to show you where on the page the front view, the end view, and the plan view has to be. Now, first, I'm going to be constructing the front view here, which is a triangle. And from the method, the triangle is an equilateral triangle, meaning that all of the sides are equal and all of the sides are 70 mm. So you can see me using my compass here to construct the triangle. Now here, after the triangle is constructed, and bear in mind that this is the front elevation or the front view, you can see that I'm outlining the triangle by deepening it, right? And you can see here that I write the words, sorry, not front elevation, plan elevation, right? And this would be the plan elevation, because if you take a look at the PDF again, right, when you view the prism from the top, that is what you would see, right? Because of how the prism is drawn, right? You have to look at the PDF and you have to study the prism there that they show you, right? And that is how you would be able to draw the views. Alright, so here I'm setting my set square parallel to the line, right? And you can see that I'm going to slide my set square to transfer that side of the triangle. Right, you can see that I'm drawing two light lines and I'm transferring that side of the triangle, and you're going to see why just now. Alright, so at where the plan view ends, right, notice that I'm going to be measuring 20 mm, right, and I'm going to be marking off that 20 mm, and then you can see me sliding my set square again to draw a light line where that 20 mm was marked off, right? And the reason why this is done is because between each of the views, between all three of the views, there must be a 20 mm space, right? That is something that must always be done in every orthographic projection, right? There has to be a 20 mm measurement between each of the views. So you can see that I've marked off my 20 mm space there. And now that I have my 20 mm space, I can start constructing my front view, which is directly below the plan view, right? According to third angle projection, right? If you look at the example in the PDF. Alright, so here I'm going to measure the height of the prism, which is 110 mm. And I'm going to be marking off that measurement, right, on both of the lines that I just transferred from the triangle, right? So the 110 mm, which is the height of the prism, is going to be transferred there onto those two lines, and then I'm going to extend the lines to meet those two arcs that I just scribed there. Alright, so here I'm going to connect that side there, and it's going to complete the rectangle, because when you look at the prism from the front, right, looking back at the PDF again, you're going to be seeing a rectangle when you view the prism from the front, right? And it's shown there in the work example on the PDF. So here you can see me outlining the front view by deepening it. And that's the front elevation, or the front view, when it's completed. And now we can move on to the final view, which is the end view, or the end elevation, right? And the end elevation is located next to the front view, right? That would be the bottom left. And again, I'm measuring 20 mm, because always between each view you have to have your 20 mm space, right? It's a must. Alright, so before we construct the end view, we have to mark off the perpendicular height of the triangle, right? So you can see me marking off the perpendicular height by sliding the set square, right? And right there in the center of the triangle, I draw a light line, right? Which shows you the perpendicular height of the triangle, right? So here I'm going to take the measurement of the perpendicular height, and using that measurement I'm going to transfer it onto the end view here. Alright, you can see right where the 20 mm starts, I'm transferring the perpendicular height there, because the end view is also going to be another rectangle, right? When you view the triangular prism from the end, it's going to be another rectangle. However, that rectangle would not be the same measurement as the front view, right? Because remember, when you're viewing the triangular prism from the end, you're viewing it from the side, right? So that's why you need the measurement of the perpendicular height of the triangle. And here you can see me outlining the final view, which is the end view.